news on a nightly basis perfectly to myself and my family, but for every other person alive with a TV who relied and still do on your poetic, insightful, noble sacrifices that made our longest nights shorter and our shortest nights safer. You, good sir, are a hero in my entire library. Lastly, you're clearly the victim of a transparent and vile witch hunt, erroneously staged by hooligans, non-coms, cowards, and oligarchs whose only desperate and hideous goal is to discredit the genius that they relied on for almost 3 decades. Now and forever, you are a true patriot and a hero of mine until I leave this star-crossed and perfect rock we call Earth. Mr. W., respect, love, high fives, and refuge if you need it. I remain humbly and on dangerous standby at your service. I am Charlie Sheen.
Operative word, insane.
You know what? Here's the deal. There is no possible way that Charlie Sheen doesn't mean that as a total smartass sarcasm. As I read the thing, there's no way he actually is defending him.
I, we would hope, wouldn't we?
There is no possible way that he is being candid.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I hope you're right.
It's mocking the hell out of him.
Again, with this guy, I never know what to believe. Although, do you think when he had that meltdown, the ridiculous meltdown, you think that whole thing was an act?
No, I think that was cocaine.
See, I mean, like the what's his Joaquin Phoenix thing, kind of same deal, only on steroids. But you always wonder what those guys are. Is it for?
Well, I think Joaquin Phoenix, like, he was in the middle of making this weird movie, and some of these people, they get really in character when they're doing it. It's kind of like with Heath Ledger, like when he was doing Batman. People said that he and his personal life got really dark.
Oh, I know, but I mean, Joaquin Phoenix went on Letterman and other places and acted like a complete, like he had just lost it.
Yeah, but if you see the movie he was in, he was totally acting that way in that movie too.
Well, that must have been it. Hey, listen, speaking of Brian Williams, Lion Brian, as we like to call him on the show, guys, have you noticed that this is like a Where's Waldo thing right now with Hillary? With pantsuits is nowhere to be found ever since the Brian Williams thing has broken out.
Wait, what's the connection between those two? What's the connection between Brian Williams and Hillary?
They both lied their asses off. Hillary with the,
okay, I see.
yeah, Hillary with the dodging sniper fire. Have you guys ever seen a clip of that? There's little girls coming out to greet her, and she's smiling and hugging them and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
This notion of misremembering, that Hillary misremembered and Lion Brian misremembered, they lied their asses off. So I'm thinking, I mean, Republicans starting to call her out. Like, where's Hillary? Like, again, like, where's Waldo? I just think she thinks this is probably a pretty good time just to lay low for a while.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of 2016 potential nominees, we haven't checked in with Joe Biden for a while. I think Joe was in Iowa yesterday. Let's check in with Joe and see what's happening.
Let's do that. That's a really good idea.
And Neil Smith, an old buddy, are you here, Neil? Neil, I miss you, man. I miss you.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, we need to replay that and listen to.
What did he just say?
I know. Jessica, hit that again.
Neil Smith, an old buddy, are you here, Neil? Neil, I miss you, man. I miss you. And Neil Smith, an old buddy, are you here, Neil?
Okay, so awesome. I don't know what that means to you, but
no, it means exactly.
An old butt buddy of mine. You can't make it up, man. I mean,
my gosh.
And if you watch it, I mean, yeah, That's what he said. I mean, I don't think. Well, I hope he didn't mean it that way. But I
Okay,
mean,
hold
how?
on a second. I just to say, I need to rewatch this.
An old but now he could have stumbled an old buddy, but who stumbles over buddy? That's two syllables, fairly common word. Um, Surely he didn't mean that. Well, I mean, in the biblical sense, but
Or in the non-biblical sense.
as it were, yeah. Um,
That is. Are you gonna do an article on that, Mike?
no, you can have it. But isn't it precious?
That
That's pretty funny.
is stunning.
And Neil, I miss you, you old butt buddy. Wow. Only
Well,
by
you know what? We talked yesterday about President Obama's flip-flop on gay marriage. So, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, and you might be right. I mean, maybe, because if Biden's thinking about 2016, he may be actually trying to one up Obama on this.
Well, you know what?
Or
where
one
I
up the
thought you were
women.
going with- What did you say, Jazz?
Run up the women, like, because they're like, it's a woman's turn to be president. So they're like, wait a minute, I'm a gay dude. Like, that's instant win. Sorry.
Okay. Where I thought you were going with that, Mike, is the article that I sent you. That this is from myway.com. That there are here's what it says here. Behind the scenes, though, there are a few signs that the vice president is taking steps towards mounting a third bid for the top job at the White House.
Mhm.
As Hillary Clinton builds an elaborate campaign in waiting and a few other Democrats nibble around the edges, Biden's name has faded from the mix of expected 2016 candidates. Biden's aides and longtime political advisors say he isn't organizing in early voting states such as New Hampshire and Iowa, although he is going to be in Des Moines, today.
Right.
He has yet to form an exploratory committee or other apparatus that could rapidly scale up to become a campaign. No staff has been lined up to take on key roles of a potential bid, nor are any Democrats in the early voting states organizing a Draft Joe movement.
I mean, surely he knows, right? You and I have talked about, our news service where these people can come to us and for a modest fee, we'll tell them either run or go the hell home. But I mean, surely probably even people that love this guy, dude, really, okay, don't do this.
Are
So
you kidding? Mike,
What?
I think that having Joe Biden on the campaign trail would be unbelievably awesome.
Oh, so do I. So do I. But I'm saying people that actually care about this guy gotta be trying at least gently to let him, Joe, no, dude. I mean, this is not going to happen. Not that
Oh.
he would listen; they never do. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there is so beyond absolutely no chance that guy could ever possibly. What did it say here? It would be his. Did it say it would be his third or his fourth campaign? Third bid. So he's run twice before.
Yeah, remember the first time? He was the whole Neil Kinnock thing. He delivered
Yeah,
this
stealing from Neil Kinnock. That's right.
like verbatim.
Right.
So,
Unbelievable.
yeah. I don't know. His butt buddy Neil out in Iowa might be telling him not to run too, so he's not going to do it. But I've always described him as because he seems like a likable guy. I mean, people in Jersey love him, wherever the hell he's from. I think Jersey, right? He rides a subway or what have you. But he's like the crazy uncle that you love to death. He lives in an upstairs bedroom. You just hope he doesn't come downstairs in his underwear when you have company over.
Imagine any businesses and companies that you've ever worked for if there was a Joe Biden. I mean, he would be a clown. I mean, he would be considered a moronic clown.
And perhaps a lovable moronic clown, but a moronic clown just the same.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he would be a guy that, when you've got when you're taking clients to, in my case out here, you're taking clients to the Staples Center to see a Laker game, or you're at some sort of show in Vegas and you're going out to dinner afterwards, you'd want him tagging along. But in terms of giving him responsibility, I mean,
Zero.
you would never in the real world, a guy like Joe Biden, you wouldn't give him responsibility for inner office mail delivery.
No, and he's lovable as hell, I suspect. I'd love to have a beer with him and let him tell us some dirty jokes and stuff. But
Oh, because he's totally that guy. He
he
is
is.
totally that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. Um,
All right.
yeah, so
What?
interesting that I don't know, man. Maybe he's now. Here's a couple of things. Biden has told associates that he feels little pressure or political necessity for a quick decision, according to advisors.
Yeah.
That's in part because of Clinton is expected to delay her own launch till summer. Biden plans to hold off making a decision for as long as possible, concerned that a campaign launch will undermine the administration's work by hastening Obama's lame duck status. Quote, a Biden supporter and former chairman of the South Carolina Democratic Party said, he's hamstrung. He's limited in what he can do without hurting the president. It's a difficult balancing act.
And that part is exactly true, right? Because that would be very uncomfortable for him. So as soon as feelers go out, a committee or whatever put together, preliminary, every time a reporter got anywhere near him, he would begin to be asked questions that would put him in a position of having to most likely disagree with the boss. So I get that part. And he probably also has this, this thing about vice presidents. I mean, multiple times in history, they've gone on and run for the presidency. It's kind of a continuation of the whole deal. So I understand it. I understand it. But I think, again, he should probably check with us before he makes that final call.
Well, remember, oh gosh, I did it. He was in, I believe it was Iowa a few months ago, and he gave a speech talking about not the one the other day, just a couple days ago, where he said it's been a real long, hard 6 years or whatever that we laughed about.
The worst 6 years we could have had, or something.
Yeah, but he gave a speech in Iowa that my article I posited that this is a distancing himself from the president, and I'm wondering if stuff like that he got a little bit of a talking to, let's just say.
I think you're probably right. And he's done that before, by the way. So,
right.
Yeah. So anyway, Joe Biden. Speaking of potential 2016 Democrat hopefuls, and I will not say I told you so, but the recent polls on Hiawatha.
I know you sent me that last night with the big I told you this was happening, right?
Iowa, New Hampshire, first and second. She swears she's not running. No one wants to piss off the Clintons right now. But where else did I read this? I read something to the effect last night that she's on the lips of every leftist in circles that matter. Everything's about Elizabeth Warren. And again, whether or not she says she's running, the pressure is going to be there. They are coalescing around her, the far left, and generally that means that people end up running. So
Right.
we'll see whether or not she wins a nomination or not. I think she's in, and that would be a bloodbath because the far left. And we've said this before, multiple times, wishes the Clintons would ride off in the sunset, never to be seen again. So, yeah.
Interesting. 79% want Warren, and a majority supports her anti-Wall Street positions.
And
so here's the thing, though. This is
real quick. How can Hillary run against Wall Street?
Well, yeah. When we talked about that, what was that? 2 days ago, there was that article.
Right.
I don't trust the MoveOn.org poll.
No.
Because I would. What they don't show here is what the question is. So the
Right.
question to me would be interesting. Anyway, folks, we are just about out of time here for this half hour. By the way, at the top of the hour, PJ Media and National Review writer and screenwriter Michael Walsh is going to be live with us from Ireland. We will be right back.
This is Ed